You're like a cool breeze on a summer's day. You are a river running through a desert place. You are my shelter from the pouring rain.
You are as numerous as the stars that guide angels through the cosmos in order to bring to my mind a message from the Creator. And you are as long a journey as that sounds, but faster than the speed of light. You put right where it belongs, which is just left of the and symbol in my message, because there are right and wrong ways of doing things. And you are the action of me doing things I never thought of before you, and achieving goals I would have given up on without you. You are the reason I'm able to write the story of my life without you, because I have you now. You are the whispers in the wind that move my pen like Hurricane Katrina over New Orleans like pages. I leave FEMA with nothing to salvage. I shape the space between the lines of loose leaf paper and wrap them with my thoughts and smoke them. You are the remnants of my inhibitions in those vapors. I get high on you. You are the drunk driver in the courtroom of my soul, on trial for vehicular manslaughter because you killed the old me. But spoken word testified, and a jury of poetry found you not guilty because you found the new me. You are the new me within me. You are my ears that listen to the tears of others hit the ground like thunderclaps, creating oceans on faces in places where there was once landmass. You take those unheard cries and transform them into spoken word to be heard by all. All they need to do was listen. You are the stories I've been told by men with raisin-like fingers, by singers and actors in comic book chapters. You are the cartoons I've watched and the movies I've hated. The girlfriends once dated but twice penetrated. You are my luck, both good and bad. You are my deadbeat dad. You are the chip on my shoulder that was supposed to bring me down, but despite the bags beneath my eyes, I look up. You are my cup running over, overflowing with tea taken from a leaf cut from the tree of knowledge. Don't bite the apple, Eve. Leave it for me. You are everything, and you are nothing. You are the tempter and the tempted. You are my emancipation from mental slavery. Yes, you are Bob Marley and Saddam Hussein, Hillary Clinton and Maya Angelou. You are the bombs over Baghdad and the colors of the rainbow. You are every broken heart and every newborn child. You are my free flights because of my frequent flyer miles. You are every person in every nation. You are every outcome of every situation. You are everything my mind can think of. Most of all, you are mine. All mine. You are my inspiration.
And then he realized that it didn't have to be long for me to feel what he wanted me to. He just had to have a good enough method of delivery. I love waking up to the calling of the morning cock. Sometimes at 6 or 7 inches was all he needed because he was bound to take him out anyway and participate in verbal ejaculation, never slowing or giving me time to register sound vibrations. Master of patience, no master, patience. He waits for my responses, all while undergoing perfect, penetrative execution, never digressing, spot on, right spots. I'm pleasantly distracted and wondering how he's so knowledge in this etymology. Physiologically, he's enthralling me, never boring me, taking all of me. He knows what I want from him. And I'm grateful that every delivery brings deliverance to my wanting. And so I swallow every last drop of the literary serum he emits that I may have insight to what's insight when he cites his citation of syntactic bliss and hate. I would bend over backwards just to not miss this. Play with angles, no tricks, semantics, semantics of watches. Synchronized to go faster whenever we engage, and I always sleep better after nights of wonder. He doesn't wonder if I'll wander away because I'm attached to him like cursive, no print. He delivers clean, no curses, bless him. We get lyrically nude like shirtless lights, dim, only focused on our purpose, reason, and I've come to listen to another of his poems that don't have to be long as he delivers well.
There is a layer of darkness covering the windows that I should look out of. Trapping me is midnight on an early bird clock. I rise and shine without the sunrise that shines, anticipating the wake of my eyes, but I am permanently blindfolded. My mirror's a stranger, for I know not what it reflects, and as I dress, I'll never know if I'm looking my best. The colors are dull. My other senses are highly defined by my lack of sense where it's commonly needed. And as the world moves around me, my lens can never capture the right lighting. It can never capture the right angle. The beauty of the stars cannot be defined because beauty is confusing. And the eye of the beholder is lacking. You can tell a lot about a person just by looking in their eyes. But what if their eyes have nothing to hide? No story to tell, no twinkle, no reflecting smile. How can I help but to wonder if my smile is reflected in the eyes of another when I cannot? I am unable to see the mask that is called face, unable to see if it is resembled by the heart. As I touch and smell the birth of nature, I am incapable of rejoicing in the splash of color, even with a naked eye, because my eyes are dressed for all occasion, and the scene never changes, just the voices. But voices hold no competition to my eyes, which are eager to explore with no steady map of direction, never to witness the dance of the trees to the winds or the prancing of wildlife through the air. My ears only to hear what I wish was loud to my eyes. My other four senses, are very conceited, aware of their diverse intellectuality, when in reality my sight is equal to inequality. My fingers are sources of my emotions as I try to musically drench my visually impaired tears into this piano like Stevie Wonder did. Taste on my tongue can never be satisfied because the iris is powerless. All the strength it has been drained from my cornea down to my nostrils, and as I take in glorious smells, my fellow pupil is disrespected, betrayed by dominant superiors which left my vision inferior. The absence of light has presented a roll call of standing resentment towards this existence called life, lacing it with traces of wretched gloom in my literature. Caught in an oasis of fuel fire because of my disability. Handicapped or not, do I really need a parking spot when I can't tell the difference between spot nor blemishes? Believe me, the least is perfect. The least is perfect. Perfection is neither salty nor sweet, rough nor smooth, black nor white. But when you see it, will it be anything like what you imagined? Will it be worth it?
She's a Mayflower that I fell in love with. Fresh spring pollen got a nigga love sick. Mayflower. Mayflowers spring from your earth. I can see the springs in your eyes depicting your worth. I know you've sailed a lot of places with your mass intact. I know you've seen a lot of faces with no class or tact. And being beautiful is turned into something people exploit. And how you sound and bad is your only accepted voice. But Mayflower, I only want to pollinate your solid state. Photosynthesize, the synthesis should make our spirits mix. Each interim is intimate as we commit and pause. As I study her apertures, she got me caught up, stuck inside her aperture. I wake up my soul, let my body take a nap with her. She put the pistol to my head, made me beg. She saw through the stigma and found out what's in my head. She let my thoughts all bloom like a sakura, siphon in my chakra, make my soul sing like an opera. Officer, lock her up, because I had my heart stolen. Our silence is golden, silver line in the frame, and I got a taste for fine metal, true metal and brain. My buttercup, she make me bubble when she blossom, cuddle while we talk some and huddle on the flotsam. Huddle on the flotsam.
That's what made us do that. Don't worry about that. I thought I was proud. See what they say? Alright, I can start from.
My buttercup, she makes me bubble when she blossom. Cuddle while we talk some, huddle on the flotsam. Hold this, focus, stop and smell the roses. She written on my stone heart tablet word to Moses. So now I juxtapose this state of comatosis to permeate in spirits to the core, osmosis. As I breathe in her oxygen, my lungs begin to lock it in. And my dioxide, she takes it topside as we kiss. And send waves among the cosmos and cosmos stars to regain their lost hope. And cause the sparks inside to fly as we coincide. Acquainted with our temples of God as we go inside. Acquainted with our temples of God as we go inside. Deflowered all the innocence of the ignorance of I and she. Now we've become this ebb and flow, this tie and cheat. This variety of mixed emotion helps me understand the notion of why she rocks a flower in her hair. Every day she's a flower born in May, and every day is her birthday.
Isn't it amazing who we praising could end up in the days in popping little blue pills and penicillin in case the girl be blazing? Wow. And still, we be raising raisins in the sun to tell us to go to hell unless your will be done. But I'm done thinking that man could withstand or that woman could be true with a real man, because we all fall. So Lord, leave me be the true call. See, God can see between the difference between real and fraud, but I can't see in, so I can't leave out. Yeah, that was a good try. I can't afford to be drawn the wrong way, because it's not an easy road, just like the song say. And I've slipped off a few times, so I get real careful if I feel cheerful and want to dance in the sunshine. One mind, they say, one mind and one accord and one heart and one sword, because one word hung from one pair of lips after the eclipse. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But you knew, because it's over 2,000 years later and you're not a Jew. You knew him as the Savior, as your Savior, but your behavior denies, because lies and half-truths fall freely from your oral cavity, and the only law you don't bend is gravity. Yeah, buddy. And I'm just waiting to see what will become of me. Will he send down a touch of that speaking in tongues, healing the sick, heavenly manner? Or will I be Hindi and wait for the next text to tell me when I'll be back and in which manner? I'm just waiting to be born again.
Things that God puts together, no one can undo. But putting us together is something that God just wouldn't do. Our relationship started off so-so, but I wanted our love to be like a plant that I could just watch grow. I remember the days I just used to chill with you and unwind, and cherish each second and time and focus on writing a rhyme just for you. But our love wasn't true. It was fake. As a matter of fact, it was a mistake. Now I sit there full of regret, sit there trying to forget that I ever met you, regretting that I ever loved you, wishing that I never held you, expressed all my fears to you, sat down and cried tears with you. Now all I can do is laugh at myself for thinking that you are actually here for me. Truth is, I couldn't see. Instead, I sat back and overlooked the obvious and began a journey of sin and lust. Never knew that in you I couldn't trust. Instead, I was focused on just getting a bus. Instead of looking into a stable future for my son and daughter, now our relationship with you I won't even bother. Just leave, you're dismissed, and believe you won't be missed. Because here I stand, a new man, one with a plan, and you're not in it. I'm here with new sight so I can't be deceived, new strength that you won't believe, new wisdom that your tiny mind won't even begin to perceive. Truth is, I miss your lips, the way they intersect with minds at an angle that reminds me of some advanced symmetry. Believe me, I also miss the things that I didn't do because of you. All the Cubans I didn't smoke, all the poetry I didn't quote, all of the original pieces that I should have wrote. But you had me distracted and my heart just reacted. And I gave you all that you needed and more. Now my heart, my voice, and my mind are so soft. You lifted me higher than any weed. You were the judge and jury to whom I had to plead. You were like the strict parents that I had to please, but damn, you brought him to his knees. See, I was ready to die for you because you was like the streets, because I'm sure I would have died for you. Now I'm focused on the time that God has in front of me, the time that I couldn't see. You see, you were blocking me from my true destiny. They say some girls are put into your life to make you better. Please. I was there to bless her every time she sneezed. Still, she couldn't appreciate all of the friends that I replaced, cut off all of my ride or dies for someone who was better off living with flies. See, your attitude stinks. Now the only words I have left for you is f*** you links. Because there's no more us. The majority of us was just lust. Other than that, we just cuss and say the most hurtful things when we were mad. So sad. But the true way you feel comes out when you're mad. Funny, I was thinking you were going to be my companion for life, ready to make you my wife and make you my life and help you bring a new life into this world. Unfortunately, you just wasn't a real girl. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't all bad, even though this ending was so sad. We had to start in order to finish. The memories of you I now diminish, and I let you go. My emotions I will no longer show. You had me so messed up, I couldn't believe. I guess you were the ace that Satan had up his sleeve. I'm glad God came and get me, now I can leave. And I leave now with a sense of pride that I'm not scared to hide. You have me up, but I'll get over it. You used to say you were my drug, but I guess I just had my last hit. Now all of the memories I have, I spit them out like I'm having a seizure. When I see you, I forget I ever knew you. I have amnesia. See, I hope my lyrics act like a dildo seduce you and then it was a matter of fuck you. I guess I should have never you. I think I needed a mop because I wasn't supposed to be on your route. But everything was like candy and this just had a sweet tooth. You made me feel invincible and that's something that drugs can't do. You had my mind blown like a 12 gauge to the head. Your very presence made me weak. In the legs, now I think of it, she used to make me weak, like 7 days. The only pain that I can imagine worse than this is labor or period pain. But we finished, point blank, period. So there's no need to finish this. And for the record, it wasn't my favorite dish. I'm sure the side orders would have been better if I had only gone for a taste. Too bad you were such a waste of my time, but watch how I can end this rhyme. You could carry your thoughts, your love, your apologies, your ass on your clitoris. Just like a child that got lectured from their parents, you are dismissed.
When seas run deep, thoughts sleep. Only awakened by the deep light reflected in the sky. My people, why do we eclipse our lives with fountains of meaningless resolutions that seem to evaporate just as quickly as the sun dries the rain? Again and again, we dampen our hopes and dreams by accepting the status quo that we know in our hearts is not who we are. So why stay silent in oppression if it's depressing? It's like we became our own recession. Our dreams are being wasted. Our dreams are being wasted because we're fighting like animals amongst ourselves, a species recreating chaos and disassembling our lives. We're polluting our future by poisoning the minds of the future. Thus, futuristically, we're living in prehistoric times. Instead of whips and chains, we are playing games and calling ourselves names that our ancestors trod in mouths of slavery to abolish. We're enslaving ourselves because we lack knowledge. And those who attain it don't have the courage to swim upstream. If we're massive waves in numbers, then why are we numbering the years of our brothers? How long will we strain our dreams in a slumber? Wake up. Open your eyes. Wake up and realize that we're selling ourselves. We're selling our resources to undeserving foreigners who don't deserve what we have. Okay, I totally forgot like the rest of my song.
It was good. Stay in the moment.
Yeah, I'll pay for it.
You got it.
Please realize, reevaluate, educate, graduate your thinking, because we're clearly sinking in the extinction by absorbing the same thing that is pulling us under. Understand, silence gives consent. Can't you sense we're losing ground? We're busy looking around because instead of searching inside, let our children show our children pride. Show them to use their voices to speak. Lead through positive examples, because silence never sleeps.
I left my shoes outside the door so that I don't drop dirt on the floor and leave behind the remains of some nasty and filthy stains. See, because I spend my day playing around, collecting muck from off the ground. Everywhere that I've been to is on the bottom of my shoe, displaying all my feet so bold. If only you could see the soul. Maybe then you'll comprehend just exactly where I've been. Take them off. That's what I chose. So the grime won't be exposed. See, I know where the lines are drawn, so don't tell me to put them on. I prefer to wear my socks to disguise the dirt and rocks, because although they may sound obscene, at least my Barbie socks are clean. Those tainted shoes I cannot wear, because they would only leave a smell, revealing what I'm trying to hide. And so I left my shoes outside.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't need you. Didn't feel you like you felt me. I'm sorry you were more pleased with me than I with you. More blessed by my side than I with your touch. I'm sorry I forgot to love, even when you were out of sight. Forgot to care or pretend to care when you would share the loneliness longs for caress that I could not give to you. Sorry for not embracing love that I did not want. Better yet, I'm not sorry. Or maybe I am sorry for you. Being the guy with sorriness, with more sorriness than truth. Sorry to say there were no ice cream days, or even sorry days, or a day that wasn't bound, shackled with sorry stories. I couldn't have you, or love you even if I wanted to. I'm just sorry that you are full of all the things that make me feel sorry for you. Sentimental, caring gentleness accompanied by true love and caress will always feel your sorriness. Sorry you haven't been blessed. So sorry that sorry will always be your stress. Don't you see sorry lives in you? Sorry lives in you when you speak. That even intertwining with you makes me sorry. Sorry for love, sorry for peace that will never be your friends. Oh, was I harsh? I'm sorry.
For the likes of me, I just couldn't figure out why you wasn't liking me. You was like, JB, you're slushy, and it's not that I'm gay, it's just that I'm more the daiquiri. but don't judge me. Because in a way, you remind me of my ex, you see, and I'm still crazy over them like they're ecstasy, but it took my ex to see that I needed a shot of Hennessy. I mean, you're really nice, JB, but you're just a little too sweet for me, and I can steal a shot of rum, so give me a Miami Vice City, and don't you have anything stronger? Yeah, something nice and hearty. Oh, you say you got vodka. If I want a shot, absolutely. No. I know I said you're slushy, but you come up more some like crushed ice to me, and it's nice to be mixed with peach snap or some vodka mixed with some cranberry. And I know your initials are JB, but I don't want you getting mixed up with the alcohol, rare J and B. And please take no offense to me, it's just that you have no alcohol, so you're like a Virgin Mary to me. And not to say that you never had intercourse sexually, but your mind is stuck mentally, and that's what I call a brain freeze. Oh! I mean, through it all, it's really not what you think. I mean, I really do like you and all, but you're just not my drink. And then I said, baby girl, you was fine and everything, and I'm not looking for a relationship, I just think you're cute. So I was hoping we could leave this golden club and come by me and hopefully I get a little golden juice.
She kissed me goodbye. And it wasn't a smack on the cheek. It was a kiss. She meant it. She was leaving. And I didn't know when she would come back, but she said it would be 5 o'clock. She only had a 5-day work hour shift. I don't know how to deal with this. This is the first time this has happened to me. I didn't mean it, but I came quick. I blamed lean, codeine, and Sprite. They say if you drink it, it affects your sex life. That's the truth. And I don't know how many of you have done this. But if you've done this, please don't do it again. Because Joe is real, and he will not be your best friend. If you mess up in bed, when you leave, he will take your place. And he's not your ace.
But you gotta be prepared for that shit. For true, right?
Yeah. He's not your friend, but he is still not your enemy. And somehow I look in the mirror, and right next to the mirror is a stack of paper clips and little pieces of trimmings. And we're trying to put these pieces together, but the pieces never fit forever. And I'm high. And that is the truth. No fallacies, no lies. Don't be envious of me, because right now I am high. And coming up next is somebody that's going to blow away the stage. Blow it better than Sandy ever did back in October 25th was that day. Because boy, that was one blow job. Hey, I really wish she'd stay. Fellas, can I get an amen? Amen. Preach.
You high for real.
High, so high. That's what I talking about, the price of the kind of special. But when she looked me in my eye, she cut so deep because she's the master cutter. I talking about in the back of my Honda. LaQuisha Sharonda. That hair on your head is so beautifully red, and every time we cut, my wallet just dead. But oh, so high is the price for your weave. When I bob and weave, and I don't even know how to stop you, Eve, from eating this apple. But it tastes so good. This kind of special. This blue mystic, you mystic, the true mystic. Yeah, slice is so sharp. You play me like a harp. My cup. Huh? Wait. Mom.
Don't cut her deep where rivers run into dry streams of nothingness. She is the one that you will want to marry one day. She is someone's daughter, someone's god, sisters, nephews, cousins, uncles, child's friends, daughter-in-law. I want you to know that you hurt me the other day so deep that I cried for hours and hours on end, no end, just hours. You hurt me, you stepped on my little toe. My little toe, though it seems that you don't even know me. Do you really know me? Who is know me? No, me and you, we are like birds that flow and fly where flies don't fly or flow, like flow with tree, poetry in the tree. You are like the exit sign.
It's your exit time.
You are like the exit sign. It's not my exit sign. And I just want to bathe myself in your leather. I said, I just want to bathe myself in the weather because it's rainy and your leather is suede.
For a moment surreal, I almost told you hush. Because I want you to understand, D'Angelo's silence. I seem that you want to shower out, just hoping that you would let me shower you in my love. But doubt sensitive takes a year and a gallon to big wash off. Don't judge me, because I'm trying my best to put some lines together, whether I'm in May or whether I'm joining the Mayweather. And they say I throw punchlines like, what's the name, Mayfloyd? I don't know, I'm just going to talk with a dome. Hopefully I go home. One Piece. One Piece. And nobody put the chrome. One Piece. Chrome. I don't know what Chrome is. So I'll be searching for a few things. So I don't know who was next. They'll go talk with the brain too. I don't want to blame you, but I noticed you in the distance, looking sexy as ever. But for some reason you was cold. I don't know, probably it's because it was like Sub-Zero outside, I don't know, but it was cold. And I was like, well, being telling them that I am, I walked to you and I took off my sweater. Not to give to you, but to put on a reversible side, because there was a reversible sweater. You know. I tried to talk to you, but you gave me a story about 3 maple leaves, and I was like, oh. Wow. So I was like, baby girl looked at the question. She was like, yeah. Do you have any paper clips? And I was like, no, because I failed all the procedures.
So,
Deep.
so back to Sub-Zero. The reason why I came after you wasn't because it was Sub-Zero. And the reason why I went into the ladies' room wasn't because I needed to take a piss. I just thought it was the last place on earth that I would find a lady. Because you see, 2012 is finally here. And they say it's the end of the world. And hurricanes are blowing, and volcanoes are flowing, and tornadoes are growing, and the ocean is coming higher and higher and higher, and I still can't afford a BlackBerry. And I never had a pair of Jordans.
Never?
Never. And even if I was to get them right now, LeBron James is like the new Jordan. So it really wouldn't matter. But the thing is, I never.
Deep.
Never had a cramp in my pinky before.
Get deep. Seriousness.
I am tired of the blame. I am tired of the blame that I had to go through high school, college, on the street. I didn't mean to step on your toe. I'm sorry. But that's not what the blame I'm talking about. I'm talking about Joe. Joe. Y'all don't know Joe got family. Joe got kids. Joe got a nephew. Mother, my name. Joe. She said, don't mess with that boy. He related to Joe. Not my fault. Guess what I have to live with. But you know, if your mind ain't satisfying you, right here, right? You get a number. I got 2 phones. I'm not saying. I'm not saying that is my fault that it happened. I'm just saying, you know, I have a name to live up to. And you know, like I said, I have phones, so you got a man to give up to. But truthfully, I'm leaving it alone. Not my fault. I didn't mean to tell that man it was the only bathroom in the place. That's when he started talking about it, I turned around my face because I thought he was going to call my name. Just tired of taking the blame.
Be nice, be deaf.
There is a strong aroma that has taken control of this room. It has caught attention to my nose.
Joe, put your arm back.
No, for real, it's a very known smell, and I'm looking for where it's coming from, and I can't really see where it's coming from.
Excuse me.
Someone farted.
Sorry about that.
Somebody farted from this mic. I really need to be potted. See, I may have never had a cramp in my pinky, but excuse me, I went to the ladies' bathroom to take a stinky. See that aroma you smell? That's me. But I wasn't the only one. See, Joe was there too, you see. He was in there worrying about how he mashed Sharia's toe. But if only Joe didn't know that I mashed it first.
What is death? If death is the end, but the idea of death still remains, then isn't death forever? Isn't death the equivalent of life? If the understanding of death remains from century to century, then the dead live, don't they? Mm-hmm. Those who leave us never really leave us because the memory will remain partial, but part of me is functional. But when I die, do my parts partially turn astronomical? If the stars form us after all, then are we of the universe? If so, then since when is there such a thing as we against us? We are each other. We are each other's brother. And when death comes in the form of life, be sure to utter the words, welcome to existence. Woo!
And the reason why I don't come out as much is because I got 6 mouths to feed. But I can't move off of greed. I bleed passion, focus off of distraction, eyes on a map that leads away from crap. So I leave my gap on the wall of a store, use my mind to kick down any door, any space, because I gotta do what it takes to feed 6 mouths in one house with 1 mouse and 3 traps. So I rap instead of slapping 4 kids and a mother. Because then I'll have to hear, "Daddy with my brother." 6 mouths to feed, and I believe it'll be okay. Because I just don't quite know. But thank God for this flow that can melt snow off of frozen minds and put glasses on eyes that soon become blind, and put courage in spines that do more than just grind, that just wine on a dime till she's spent to a cent. 6 mouths to feed, and all these niggas talking about is gambling. So let me start. For all y'all think I doing is rambling. 6 mouths to feed.
Yeah.
Can I rest my head on your chest and sense the vibrations of your heartbeat as they impregnate my thoughts? As I shudder to think of being without you simply meant me not sustaining existence of me not being. Meanwhile, I gaze into your eyes that transcend the vastness of the universe. Of what is your womb and what comes forth from it? The life-giving essence of the woman infused with celestial dust, stolen from the tombs of the 3 kings that line symmetrically in the skies. From pixies that bequeathed Cupid and deceitfully influenced his decision to aim that sharp-pointed object of Hephaestus' creation. Barreling into my chest as a warrior felt pain before, but I stand no longer. You are the object of my affection. As I exercise a form of disciplined subservience to your will, knees buckling beneath me as if transformed to pillars of salt, I fall. Your hands cradle my facial structure as a babe in a manger. Your fingertips become swaddling clothes to my face, and your lips fill the crevices in mine. You willingly stroke the masculinity within my loins as if you're a nymph to a harp, playing with whimsical devotion and melody, with voices serenading my soul filling me fantastically with luster and vitality. As vigorously I stroke entranced in this dance of mortal souls, peering into God's eyes as time stands still as I hold onto my forever, my endless summers, my natural disaster, my running water, waves crashing to ocean front, my song to sing, my 9.6 earthquake, my only avenue to breathe, my everything. I am your clay. Take me, mold me however you want me, but beware, my love. For love's sake, with great power comes great responsibility. For whatever you make me into, from mine to yours, that is what I will stay.
You're like a cool breeze on a summer's day. You are a river running through a desert place. You are my shelter from the pouring rain. You are my comfort even before the pain. I can hear the sound of 5 drummers in the wind. Airplane in the distance plays a beautiful cello line. It's no coincidence it's in tune with the music in my head. I am but a vessel, and so I sing, 'cause you are in my head. You're always in my head. In my peace, you're always in my head. Tell me, how can I live one day without music? How can I live one day without you? How can I live one day without music? You're always in my head. You are love. You are life. You are music. You're always in my head. Tell me, how can I live one day without music? How can I live one day without you? How can I live one day without music? It's always in my head. Tell me, how can I live one day without music? How can I live one day without you? How can I live one day without music? It's always in my head.